Hello, everyone, and welcome to South Asian Artists in Conversation with South Asian Artists. Today we have the lovely Kaya's Irshad, and we're just going to be talking a little bit about the creative industry, hoping to get some advice from Kayas and also just a bit about his career so far. So welcome, Kayas. Thank you so much for joining me in conversation with other South Asian artists. How are you doing today?
I'm all right. Firstly, thank you for having me on. Appreciate it. I'm all right. I'm all right. I feel it's been a tough year, and hopefully we're gonna get our summer back now this
Yeah.
year, and I've kept busy and stuff. But yeah, as I said, we just gotta keep. I keep telling people, stay positive, gotta keep motivated, and think there's a light at the end of the tunnel. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. And by the way, you said my name right. A lot of people can't pronounce my name, and I was
Oh,
just like,
really?
what?
What do they?
No, because they're like, is it Chaos,
Yeah.
Caius? Is it K? They just end up calling me K, and I'm just like, it's Caius. Yeah, it's not
Caius,
hard.
yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of just
Um.
guessed, but I'm glad I got it right.
Yeah. So, but yeah, no, I'm all good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Just trying to keep busy. I think it's been a hard year. I feel like the first lockdown for me personally, I kind of enjoyed it just because like there was so much going on in the industry, and I feel like there was like opportunities that casting directors were giving that you wouldn't get in the real world. So like I actually really enjoyed it. But then when it came to like the second and the third, I was like, right, it's just like I want to go back. But I think
Yeah, I know.
um,
Unless I hope there's not a fourth, but
oh my god, no. I think because there's dates, I feel like
yeah,
because there's certain dates, it's something to aim towards. Whereas if it was just like we
yeah.
don't know when we're going to be out, then
100%, and obviously the vaccines have helped. And I feel last year, this time, like obviously the first lockdown, we were lost. Like there was no vaccines, and they had no
yeah,
clue. They were fighting against an invisible virus, and we just got to look, stay positive.
mm,
And as I said, we're definitely it's been a big effect to the industry, especially the theaters have been closed, and a lot of people haven't been filming, and I think it's just big production still at the moment, just filming and stuff,
yeah,
with restrictions. But you know how you normally have a lot of people releasing stuff and filming stuff, but it's been tough, and no auditions happening and stuff like that as well. So, but it's what I've told people. Used I told people from the first lockdown, use this time to make your self tapes, and your show reels and stuff like that. If not show reels, then just self tapes. Practice at home with your people, because you're not going to get this time again. And I feel a
mm,
year, that's more than enough time. So as soon as things are sort of back to normal, bang, here's my self tape, here's my show reels and stuff. You know what I'm
yeah.
saying? We're ready, like we're available. So yeah, as I said, you just got to try to look at the positive side.
Yeah, exactly. I feel like it's given people, like you said, breathing time to work on their craft a little bit more. And I guess because like it's such a busy industry, people might not have the time because they're on set all
Mm,
the time to actually hone in on their craft and better themselves. So I think it's been
yeah.
really great for that. Um, but yeah, if you could sort of just say a little bit about yourself, who you are, and also how you got into this industry and where it all started for you.
So, well, um, 12 years I've been in the industry now. It's been a long time. I started back in 2008, which, wow, I just can't believe time has flown so fast. So I start, um, currently I'm a production manager.
Mhm.
I'm an actor, producer, and director. I do marketing and casting as well for films and TV shows. But when I started back in 2008, the first film I worked on was Adulthood, and everyone knows Adulthood was like
Mm.
one of the biggest gritty
Big,
hood films, and it
yeah.
opened doors for me. I was working on set on that. I was like doing behind the scenes, I was doing production work, so I was more behind the camera than in front of the camera. I was never interested in, I wasn't doing what I'm doing now. It was more like running the social medias, the websites, sorting the extras out, and I enjoyed it. I was doing it for years and years, and with Adulthood, it opened doors for me because it was a project that I proved myself what I can do. And I was
Yeah.
into, and as I said, the film had like a lot of party scenes and stuff like that. So I had to like cast like 300-400 extras. And I'm telling you,
Oh
it's not easy.
wow.
It's not an easy job. Um, so it was, as I said, it went successful, and it opened doors for me to other films, and I ended up networking. So I ended up working on Noel Clarke's next other film, which was 4321 back in 2010. It had Emma Roberts in it. It had Noel Clarke in it. It had a lot of like big names part of it as well, and it was done by Universal. So even working on that project, it opened doors for me. And I think what happened with me, I ended up going to a lot of premieres, a lot of events, meeting
Yeah.
more producers, directors, and they saw what I did on set and stuff, and they enjoyed it. They really liked it. They praised my work and stuff. So it got me other jobs as well. And as I said, I feel I just had my head down. And what a lot of people don't know is you have to do some free work when you start in the industry. I was doing free work, like, even before
Yeah.
adulthood, I was doing like 7, 8 months of free work. What people want is they just want to get in there, obviously get good money, and then be on the screen. It doesn't work like that. You have to work your way up. So before adulthood, as I said, where I was doing a lot of free work with my friends and stuff like that. Then, as I said, where when I ended up working on films like 4321 and stuff like that, I ended up getting paid and stuff. But as I said, I really appreciate it, because you should never forget your roots and where I started off, because it got me into like big projects. Like I worked on, I was doing work on like Top Boy. I was working on EastEnders back then. I ended up even getting 2 weeks work on Fast and Furious 6 when it was filmed in London. And
Amazing.
that for me, that was just like, wow, because I was just doing behind the scenes on there, and I was working on set. But 2 weeks working on a big film set like that, I was like a little fish in a big pond. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But again, it was just like credit to my it's like my CV, and then networking. And what happened was, years and years went, and I thought to myself, obviously, a lot of people know, I mean, I'm good friends, and I work closely with people like Noel Clarke, Ashley Waters and stuff, and watching them do what they do, I was just like, do you know what, I want to do acting now. I want to
Okay.
step into their shoes, do directing, do writing, and it doesn't come overnight. Do you get what I'm saying? It's like, I know it's going to be a lot of work. So as I said, where I started, writing as well, and I thought, I've learned from the best, so I can do it. Do you know what I'm saying, and stuff. And then obviously I done my documentary, which was the first documentary on bullying, which I wrote, I presented, and I directed it. And we did that, which took a couple of months. And then from there, I bounced onto other things, and I got a lot of like roles and stuff like that. So as I said, years went, and this I'm covering this. This is the last 12 years, by the way, because if I went into detail, we'll be here forever. So as I said, but now I've come to a point where I am doing a bit of everything, and the good thing with that is I'm sometimes not out of work. When you're just an actor,
Mm,
it's like people's been waiting around all year for work. Like
the
if you go
work.
for if you go for an audition, basically if you don't get that, then you have to wait. And but if I go for an audition and I don't get it, whatnot, or if there's no film work, then at least I can do production work. I could do like social media marketing, and stuff like that. There's always something. Do you get what I'm saying? So I always tell people, like, have your options open, like get your hands in everywhere. So yeah.
Yeah, because I guess if you're doing like a little bit of everything, like you said, you are gonna keep proactive, and it's like always gonna feel like you've got some work going. And what was that experience of saying, you worked on the smaller shows and then going from that to working on the set of Fast and Like, was it a big jump for you?
It was, it was, because I feel, obviously I started off small, but I mean, working on adulthood and 4321 and Top Boy back then was massive anyway. And then obviously I got some work on EastEnders due to my cousin,
Yeah.
and I feel, I mean, that was big, but obviously, for working on that, then working on Fast Six, it was just like that was a major jump. And then even after Fast Six, I worked back on like smaller projects than that. Like your ego just can't get big. That's one thing with me, where I'm
Yeah.
always humble, and you have to be humble. You got to stay humble in this industry, and you can't have an ego. You can't have a big head. You just be like, look, cool. Like I don't a lot. And the thing is, I don't even mention to a lot of people unless they ask me. I worked on Fast Six. Da, da, da. As I said, if someone asks me, it's because there's the fact that you just got to keep working hard and stuff like that. But it was an experience. It was an experience, and I enjoyed it, and I feel like it's something that I would like, carry on wanting to do and stuff. So yeah, as I said, where yeah. It was something for the CV. So hopefully,
Yeah.
fast 10, I can get back on there.
Yeah, kind of exactly. Just build it up. What
Yeah.
would you say was sort of like the thing that inspired you to want to get into this industry? Was it like something specific, or you kind of like fell into it, or?
Do you know what? I didn't even. The crazy thing is, I didn't even study it in college.
Okay.
I was studying business in college. You know, we always end up studying something else in college, and we never end up doing that.
Yeah,
Like people
doing that.
study being a lawyer or doctor, and then they end up somewhere else, like in retail, or they become a singer or something. Because when they asked you back then, like, what do you want to become? You have no clue. You're a kid.
No,
You just say whatever that comes to
exactly.
your mouth. It's only when you get older you start to realize what you really want to become. And I just know. I think I just like the buzz working in the industry. I feel it's just the meeting people. The vibes on set. You've been on set. The banter you have on set, networking.
Hmm.
I enjoy it, and you have to enjoy what you do.
Yeah,
There's been stressful times on set that I've been on. There's always that pressure on set and stuff, but the vibe is always there. Even every set that I've worked on, the banter's always been there. Yeah, we get our work done, but then there's always banter. There's always good vibes, and I've always believed in that, where you got to look after. As I said, it's like a family. Do you get what I'm saying?
yeah,
But yeah, I feel that's what I wanted to do, because even when I started back in 2008, I just knew this was me. I thought, yep, do you know what? This feels right. It's something I want to do, and it's something I want to progress on. So I kept my head down and I just carried on, like, working hard.
yeah. I love what you said about having that banter on set, because I guess you have to have that mix, like the okay, you've got to work hard, the professionalism, but then it
Mm,
just becomes like a task
mm.
and a job rather than, I'm enjoying this. If you kind of have that mix, it builds connections with people, but it also makes you enjoy the job a bit more as well.
100%, because I feel I've had a lot of things, in the last couple of years of experiences on set, and not everyone has that experience, and you're supposed
Yeah,
to. I've had people have had bad experience on set. They've been treated badly. They've never been happy. People above them using their powers to, bully or abuse whatever, but it's not right. Do you know what I'm saying? Because I've seen it all, I've heard it all, and it's wrong. I mean, every set, this is what I'm saying, whether it's my movie or it's someone's film that I've worked on, we've always had that banter. We've always had, and obviously, I've worked on a lot of Noel's movies, like Noel Clark's movies, and he's a guy where obviously that guy's a hard worker. But his film sets, whoever's been on his film set knows that he takes care of his people, and that's what you need, and that's where I learned it
yeah,
from. You know what I'm saying? Because it's the fact that, yeah, we get the work done, but you look after your people. You have a
yeah,
laugh and stuff, and that's where I learned it from. And so now, if I do my film, even when I done the bullying documentary, like, it was a serious documentary, to do with bullying, but we had a lot of laugh behind the scenes, and on set and stuff. And you have to thank your people. You have to, like, even if the extras come down, and this is another thing, when the background people come down, you got to thank them, because yeah, they're
yeah,
extras, but they're a big part. They're a big part to the scene, to the film, to the soap. As I said, you look after them and stuff like that. So with me, it's about appreciation, but a lot of people, as you know, they don't think like that, man. So
no. I really, really love that, because it sort of takes away that, I feel like, that hierarchy that is there in the industry. It makes it kind of on the same levels as you were saying about the extras. Even though it's extras, it's like without the extras you wouldn't be able to have like 400 people for a party scene.
no,
It's like
exactly.
you need the director as much as the director needs you, so it is about a collaboration, not like, oh, I'm hiring you. So I really sort of feel like I wish there was sort of more of that, because I feel like it will help everyone feel a bit more kind of relaxed.
You know what I always say? Background people or extras are as much as important as normal actors.
Yeah, for sure.
And they're actors as well. Just because they're background people, it doesn't mean that they get left on the side. They have to be taken care of, they have to be fed. They have to be treated good, because even when I'm filming, I remember when there's extras, whenever there's like a cut or there's a break, I'll go and chat to them. I'm like, oh, what's going
Yeah,
on? What do you do about where you come from, what's your background, like, how long you been in acting, and we take some selfies, or we take some videos. They feel special. I'm telling you, they feel so much happier because you've given them that attention and that connection. And a lot of actors I know do that as well, but when you just leave them there, it's not nice, because, as you
no,
said, it's not about, oh, they're there for a reason. Do you know what I'm saying? And they're there to help you make your movie, make your soap and stuff. So, and we've all been there. We've all been there. Do you know what I'm saying? We started small. You know, I've been there. We've all been there.
Yeah, yeah,
So
exactly.
you got to put them. You got to just like know that. Oh, okay, cool. You got to think back. And this is what I'm saying. People forget the roots, which is
Oh,
really bad.
exactly. Yeah, yeah. You've got to know where you came from because you've got to put
Always.
yourself in the position of someone
Yeah.
that's starting out where you are to sort of understand their position more.
100%. That's what I say.
Cool. And a question that somebody actually sent in
Mm.
is from all of the projects and the movies that you've worked on, would you have a favorite, or is that hard to say?
Oh my god, no, that is hard. I do have a favorite. I mean, as I said, where I mean, there's a few films that I haven't, not saying I haven't enjoyed working on. I wouldn't, you know, we've all had bad experiences, and I
Yeah.
thought, okay, cool, you know, I wouldn't do it again. But there's been like, it's a hard one. I feel like for all of them, I think it's got to be 4321.
Okay.
A film we done in back, yeah, back in 2010. I think 4321 was the biggest one because I feel, I mean, a lot of people probably would have thought that I would have said Fast and Furious, but that was a good experience. But 4321 is a film I worked on from the beginning until the end. And, you know, as I said, where we filmed that in many places, you know, it was a massive film, a massive cast, and it was a lot of hard work that went into it. Have you seen it? I don't know if you've seen it. It's a chick
I
flick.
haven't. I know I
You might
haven't.
like that actually.
I've
Yeah.
heard of it. I haven't seen it.
Yeah, watch it. Yeah, definitely. And I feel that I think that's one of the because I think I've learned that was one movie that I learned a lot from,
Okay.
experience wise. And I wasn't just sorting. I was doing a lot in that film actually. There was like I was doing obviously casting the extras. I was doing a lot behind the scenes. We was doing interviews with the cast. And you know, I was running the social medias. It was like a lot of work for me, a responsibility, but I really, really enjoyed it. But then again, yeah, I mean that was my favorite. But I have enjoyed working on like Top Boy, EastEnders, and other projects and that as well. But I think yeah, 432 was my favorite.
Yeah, and I guess how you said you worked in it from beginning to end. So I'm
Yeah,
assuming you saw like the whole process of like. I bet it was really nice to see where it started from and then when it kind of ended as well.
yeah. And you know when you start on your first day, you're like, okay, here goes. It's going to be a long ride, and it did. I think, as I said, we filmed every day, and it took about 7 weeks, 8 weeks. Like it was 2 months, but you know there was filming done in New York and stuff as well. So it was just like you know you just see and then you go back and look at behind the scenes and you just like wow how much work is put in because we had to travel a lot and stuff as well. Even when we was in London, we used to go to Pinewoods all the way in Uxbridge, and
Yeah.
it was just like it was a lot of work and stuff. And what people don't realize as well, they you know when a film is made, I mean you know this, when a film is made they feel like how the film is from beginning to end, that's how it's filmed. It doesn't work like that. It doesn't work like that.
No, no.
So the end of the film, we could be filming first, if that makes sense. And in the middle of it, we could be filming the next day. Then you go back. You know, it's all mixed up. It's not that you do it from how the film is. You know, so it can get you know when you're filming it, it's
Yeah.
so confusing sometimes because you're just like, oh damn, we're filming the ending scene of the film, but it's the first day of shoot. Do you get what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But because of the restrictions or locations, we have to do it like that. So it's really mad. Like people don't realize, obviously, unless you're on set, how it all works.
Yeah, I guess kind of watching you think it's kind of like consecutive because that's how people think it would be, but it's not always practical. Like you might have to be
Nah,
in a certain location for like the middle part. So that's quite funny just to kind
yeah,
of hear like, okay, we're
I
gonna do
know.
the
It's
ending.
I know, and then like the last day of the shoot, you're beginning like you're filming the start of the film, so
Yeah,
you feel like it's the beginning, but you know as I said, it's all done according to it. It all goes on locations and how long they've
yeah,
got. Are they allowed to be you know at certain places and stuff like that? Like if example, you hire a club out, you only got probably a day or 2 days. You have to get all the scenes that you've done in the club in them 2 days. Do you know what I'm saying? And
yeah. So
because
that
you only
pressure as well to
yeah,
like
it's the
make
pressure.
sure.
Yeah, it's all these things, these license and stuff. You need, you know, you can't just be like, oh yeah, I want to film here. You need licenses wherever you film, whether it's on the street, an area, tube station. You need, you know, you can't just go there and start filming. You can get a fine.
Yeah, exactly. You've got to have that preparation, and like
Yeah.
following on from that, obviously you've been in the industry for 12 years. For the people listening, what would you say some of the biggest things that you have learned that you didn't know before from working on set, but just in the industry in general?
How to deal with rejection. It's a big thing. It's a big
Yeah.
thing. A lot of people don't know how to deal with rejection. You know, when they go to auditions and stuff, or you know, if they want to work on something. I mean, when I started, I had no clue about all of that because I was
Mm.
in a world where I was so gassed that I was basically hanging out with celebrities. You know, when I started, I was just like, oh, I'm on this red carpet and I'm working on this film. Social media was buzzing. People wanted to hang out with me because you're young as well. Do you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You've never had that life. Now, now when I think about all that, I laugh to myself like, really? I was like that because you know it's basically like, wow. Now it's just about what you know, putting your head down, working. If I go to a red carpet, I go to a red carpet. I'm not gonna brag about it. You know, it's just I'm there. But I think it's your age when you get older. Oh yeah, and back to the question, the rejection. Yeah, back then I didn't know how to deal with rejection, and it was one of them. Like I used to get upset. I used to take it to heart. Even I remember when people used to message me abuse as well sometimes, you know, like keyboard warriors and stuff. Oh yeah, you
Yeah.
know, they know that I never knew how to, yeah, I never knew how to handle it then. I used to like type message back, getting all angry, and I used to be like, what do you mean that I've worked? And I used to give them my time. Now it's like straight blockage. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
There's,
No time. I've got no time
you
for you.
know,
And now I know how to deal with rejection. Like if I go to a audition and that, I'll be like, do you know what? It wasn't for me. Like I'm not
yeah,
gonna down myself on it. It just wasn't for me. It wasn't meant to
exactly.
be. Something else is in the pipeline, or that role is for someone else. So, but a lot of people, as I said, they can't take it. It's like going for a job interview. You know, you kick yourself if you don't get it because you're just
Mm.
you go home. You're like, is it me? Am I rubbish? You know, what's wrong? You start getting depressed. You start downing yourself. Oh, shall I give up? But I'm just like, no, it's not you. Everything is written down, man.
Yeah, you kind of like when I was talking to, it was both Anissa and Bal about
Yeah.
this. We are sort of our worst critics, so we are leaving an audition, you sort of overthink it, be like, oh, is it me? But most of the time, it's not about you. It's about what they're looking for. Like you can be like an amazing actor, but if you're not right for that role, then they're not, obviously not going to cast you. And obviously, I feel like in the industry we do speak a lot about rejection on the actor side.
Mm.
What about sort of from your side, obviously being in production, have you faced rejection the same way, or is it a
Um,
bit better? Or
I have, and it's a weird one because I sometimes do auditions. Like obviously, I do casting and stuff as well. So I've been in casting rooms where I've auditioned people myself for companies. I've
mm,
helped out people, and as I said, where even for my upcoming movie that I'm going to do, I'm going to be auditioning people. So it's a difficult on what you just said there, where what see this is what I tend to do, and a lot of people won't think like this. Where example, if I'm auditioning for my gritty film, I know that I already know in my head what type of characters I need. So if they come in and they smash the audition, but they haven't got the look, you know, if they look like too innocent, too good, it's really hard because it's just like, hold on, they're so talented, but they
mm,
haven't got that look, so it's not going to fit
yeah,
into my film. But what I tend to do is keep them on file, and I'll be like, do you know what? They're going to be handy for something else that I got coming up. It's not
yeah,
that I'll be like, do you know what? Sorry,
don't
go,
forget
forget
like
you. I always keep that person. I'll be like, do you know what? I'm sure I'll have something coming up that they'll be handy for, or they'll be really good for, so I can call them back and stuff. And so it's not kind of a rejection. It's more like just wait a little while. Do you know what I'm saying? But yeah, no, I've had it as well. Where as I said, I've applied, I've auditioned for a few stuff that I didn't end up getting. But do you know what? It's something where um, it's something you gotta be able to handle because I
yeah,
don't think to myself, oh, okay, yeah, because I've been in the industry 12 years. I've worked on this. I should get it. Like, who do they think they are? Nah, there's people better. There's always someone better than you,
yeah,
and
exactly.
that's what you got to see. Even these big celebrities you see now on films and stuff, you think they haven't got rejected? They get rejected as well. But obviously, we don't know about it. You know what I'm saying? The people on EastEnders, the people on Korea. I know so many people that want to get into EastEnders or Coronation Street. They've been trying for years and years, but they've been rejected. You know what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
because again, it's just not their time. So it's happened to me a few times and that as well. And it's just something that you just like, you know what? Okay, cool. When the time is right, it will happen. But then I've got other work. Do you know what I'm saying? I've got other
Yeah.
work and stuff. So you just got to bounce back. You just got to bounce back.
Yeah, and it's really interesting to hear from your side. I feel
Yeah.
like that we always say, oh yeah, actors face rejection, but everyone in the industry does face either rejection or, I guess, like if you're casting something and you don't necessarily meet exactly what you want, I guess that the sort of rejection there. If you're going and thinking, okay, I really want this person, and they sort of don't
Yeah.
deliver that sort of, lets you down in that sense.
You got to be able to handle rejection before you go in there. You got to be able to know and feel that you might not get it. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you can't obviously have positive vibes and stuff, but you got to be ready for it. That, and obviously, this nowadays, there's more people auditioning than anything. Back in when I started the industry, there wasn't a lot of people that were wanting to get into the industry. Now everyone wants to be an actor. Everyone
Yeah.
wants to be an actor. They want to be on the screen. There's so much competition now. Then when I started, you go to an audition, there's like thousands of people there. You know what I'm saying? If they audition for Top Boy, there's going to be so many people applying for that. So it's like it's really tough now, and I do feel for the people now, because I've seen so many talented people online, like on YouTube, Instagram, and Twitter and stuff, and I'm just like, damn, like they're just not getting chances, and they end up giving up. They end up working in a bank or retail, because obviously they need money.
Yeah.
But what happens there is that I'm not saying they waste their life away. The talent goes, and like I'm just like, it's crazy, man. But yeah.
It's so unfortunate because no one really has control of that, because I feel like in the industry there's so much, that there's so many more actors and creatives out there than there are roles. So it's like there's so many, even now there's so many undiscovered talented people, but if
Yeah.
they're not filling certain roles, or someone's better than them, they're not going to get that. So that's, I kind of just wish there were like more roles for everyone will be like
100%. And hopefully
happy.
there will be. I think the more people, like, if there's more people out there that want to make these films and little short films or dramas and stuff, then there'll be more opportunities for people, and stuff. And as I said, we've got the platforms now, which is amazing. We've got the YouTube, we've got the Instagram, we've got everything. I just tell people, you don't even need a camera. Get your iPhone and go out there and film. The quality on an iPhone is better than a camera these days. You're on 4K,
Yeah.
man. You just need a good editor. That's all you need. The thing is, and sorry, I just need to say this to whoever's
No.
watching. Get yourself. I tell people every time, and this helps with show reels as well. Yeah, when people say to me, I don't have any show reels, just create some scenes with your friends. Go out there. All you need is 2 or 3 people that are dedicated like yourself, that won't let you down. You need a camera person, and then all you need is someone to edit. You just need like a tripod and your camera. That's all and your iPhone. And the things you can film, it depends how you shoot it and then how you edit it. I'm telling you, you can get stuff done,
Yeah.
man.
I know, it's incredible. Like I'm pretty sure there's been like full-on movies made with just an iPhone.
Yeah,
And
and they've been in the cinema. I've
yeah,
seen
yeah,
them.
yeah, yeah. Like exactly.
It's crazy. It's crazy, man. And you just think that, okay, obviously it's more better to have them bigger cameras and sound, but again, that's later on when you want to make your big stuff. Like,
Yeah.
this is just for advertising
Wow.
yourself, and you never know where it can go, because
Yeah.
that YouTube clip or video or that could go anywhere, man. That could lead you
Yeah.
to jobs.
Exactly. That's really inspiring to hear, that you never know where that can go, or you never know that video who can see, especially with like social media. There's so many
Exactly, man.
casting people, especially on Twitter now. I've seen so many castings, and
Yeah,
a casting director can be scrolling. If you post a video, you never know who's gonna watch that.
exactly,
And
exactly.
one thing that I really loved that you said was that people sort of going for auditions and they don't book that certain role, and then think, okay, that's it now. But you don't know who that casting director is and what other projects they may have in the future. So a lot of the time, if you're not right for a certain role,
Mm.
a few months down the line, they might call you in for an audition for a completely different role that you might book.
Exactly.
obviously that I feel like that's a misconception of the industry.
Yeah.
Following on from that, my question is, what do you think are some misconceptions of the industry that a lot of actors or just creators in general have that you've learned?
I feel it's a really tough industry. I feel there's a lot of favoritism happening, sometimes. I've seen it all, as I said earlier, where I've heard it all, and a lot of people can relate to this. Where it's like sometimes you sometimes feel it's the same people being casted for the same stuff,
Yeah.
you know. But then where's the new talent? As I said, that's good. Okay, we want to see them faces because obviously they're very talented and whatnot. But then there's always, there's fresh talent every time that we need to get out there, and I feel like we should get people from every race involved. Do you know what I'm saying? Not just one race. I think there's black people, there's white people, there's Asian people, there's you know different types of South Asian artists. I think
Exactly.
we need to because as you know, I mean, even the things you post on the South Asian, even on the South Asian Instagram page, there's so much talent I see every time, and I'm just like, hold on, I've never come across this person before.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? And it only takes that for you to make that Instagram or for you to do these interviews and stuff, then people realize, and it shouldn't be like that. Do you know what I'm saying? Where
No, no.
they should be casted into soaps, they should be casted into films. So I think, and I've said this before, where we need to start being fair. We need to start, casting, like as I said, all different people, all different races. As I said, it's a talent thing, and then just be fair on everyone. And because I feel like it's not currently fair in the industry where only certain people are, certain races are being left out or because of the color and stuff. And I just feel like it's not nice because then you're wasting that talent out there and stuff. And we want to see different people on the screen and stuff. Do you know what I'm saying? We want to see different actors, different actresses, and from all races. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, exactly. And sort of with doing South Asian artists, one thing that I've noticed, and I've been doing it since March of last year, is like how many, not just South Asians, but like people have got how many of us there are out there. And
Yeah.
I've done like a few different video projects. In each project, I see like at least 20 new faces, and with these Zoom calls, and like there's actually so many of us out
Yeah.
there. And a lot of people don't realize that in the industry. And it's like, I've heard stories of people going, oh, yeah, we can't really find many like South Asian actors. And it's like, no, you're just
Nah.
not looking hard enough. There's literally so many. Yeah, so sort of following on from what we were talking about, casting and
Yeah.
representation. Obviously, with doing South Asian artists, I've been trying to sort of figure out ways to connect us all more, because I feel like there is a bit of a lack of unity within the sort of South Asian arts community. Um, do you sort of have any tips or advice on what I guess we could be doing more as artists to connect with and empower each other, and how you personally want to see like representation in general moving forward from where it is now?
Do you know what I say? Yeah. I feel like there's not enough support out there. I think we don't support each other as much that we need to.
Yeah,
And I feel the industry, and correct me if I'm wrong, and I don't know if you feel the same, but I feel these days people want to see you fail more than succeed. And it never used to be like this in the industry. When I started, it never used to be like that. But now I feel like there's a lot of jealousy going around. Then people want to support and stuff. And I think that's what it comes
really.
down to, yeah, where people don't support each other as much. So example, like how I raise awareness and help people, how you help people. You have the South Asian, Instagram to boost people out there. You do the Zoom calls, how I do the podcast and stuff like that as well. We basically help, but we need more people like that.
Yeah,
We need like thousands more people like that. So if you remember, if we have thousands of us, then it wouldn't be a problem. But why is there only a minimum people like this? Do you know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like, and then obviously, because yeah, we can be heard, we can be shout, but there's only so much we can do to be
we
heard.
can. Yeah,
So I feel like we need more people to raise awareness on this, say that, look, we need more people out there. We need more South Asian artists out there. we need more races, in films and stuff like that. Because what's going to happen, and it is happening, the more you stay quiet, it's not going to be, nothing's going to change. And it
Yeah.
hasn't for years and years. You're going to see the same thing happening. And I feel, why does it take for you to make an Instagram to shout about it? It shouldn't be like that.
No,
Do you know what I'm saying? Yeah, you do it because I know you enjoy it and you want to help. But, as I said, where these big directors and companies and stuff like that, they should be shouting about it and stuff as well. The people with high followers, celebrities with high followers and stuff like that. Because, I just feel, we've got these talented people. So why not make use of them? And there's so many things happening now. We can maybe put them in something, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And give them opportunities and chances and stuff. And the bad thing is, Artie, the bad thing is a lot of these people, they don't even want to get paid some of the time. They just want experience. They just want to basically get out there, and they're willing to help out and stuff. And then, so why not? They just want to basically, because they enjoy it, they've got a passion. Do you know what I'm saying? So, it's just like, we need more people like us. I think that's the only way it will change.
I completely agree. And I think especially with social media, obviously Instagram's kind of new algorithm and the way it works. I feel like
Can't get me started on
that. I know you mentioned it, and like, God, it just kind of messed it up. But yeah, I feel like just sort of just a little comment, a like, or sharing somebody's work, it doesn't take much out of you. If anything, I feel like it gives you more when you kind of share people, not sort of as an ego boost, but it's like you're helping somebody out, and sort of what I've noticed is helping certain people out and you receive that same energy back. So I feel like if we all sort of do that, it'll kind of be reciprocated. So yeah, I completely agree. I feel like there is that kind of competition there, and I don't know exactly what it is. I guess it's because people are maybe like succeeding further down the line than you are. I don't really know. So I feel like the whole
it's a tough one because they feel like, oh, they might get the role and I won't.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? And the next thing you know, they might blow and then I won't blow because I've offered them this, I've forwarded this. You can't think like that. If it's meant for you, it's meant for you, but it doesn't cost nothing to share. Do you know what I'm saying? And to promote and market and stuff. And as you said earlier, I completely agree with this, that I've always said this even in my podcast. People should be supporting more. Why do you have to ask your friend to share something? You shouldn't have to ask them. They should be just doing it. And this is the most funniest thing. You have strangers support your work more than your own people. And I've noticed that. You got strangers you don't know, you've never met. They're on your gram, they're on your TikTok, they're on your Snapchat. You've never met them, but they will support. They will comment on your stuff, like your post, share your stuff more than your own family or your friends. And you have to go to them that, oh yeah, I know, all right, fair enough, the Instagram the algorithm is messed up, all right, but the fact that you should know what your people are doing, you should know about their work, you should be able to share the stuff and stuff, so I feel sometimes, I said, people do it because of jealousy and they don't want the person doing well, but it shouldn't be like that. You should support your people. And it goes back to what I said earlier. This is why it's a struggle for the industry, for South Asian artists, for all these people, because the support is not there.
Yeah, no, completely agree. And I feel like I've seen there was like a quote on this recently about sort of strangers supporting your work, and again, I think it kind of comes back to that subconscious or even conscious like competition, being like, they're doing more than me, and it kind of makes you naturally not want to support them. So I think especially with lockdown, with strangers connecting, I feel like I have seen kind of strangers supporting. But I think that's another, like, that's a positive. It's so nice when someone you don't know kind of connects with you and shares their work.
I've always done it. I've always supported people, whether they're, if I know them or not. I'll put, as I said, I've done it to musicians, I've done it to actors. I don't know, I've put people's business, I've put, if someone's opening a business, I'll put it up on my gram. And as I said, where it's just about that one share can lead to a lot of things. You know what I'm saying? Like, someone can see that, or as I said, it helps the people. We've got the platform, so why are you not doing it?
Exactly.
And stuff. So it's just but as I said, where you got to try your best. You got to try not let these things get to you. It does hurt when your own people don't support you, but then are they your people? That's what you got to think of the day.
got
Do you know what I'm
to
saying?
reassess that.
Yeah, it just
Yeah.
makes you think, are they really your people? Do you need them in your life after? So, I've come across a lot of these things like in the past 12 years where I've learned a lot. I used to be very gullible back in, when you're younger, you don't think about these things,
Yeah.
but then you start thinking about these things and your eyes start opening after. So yeah.
Yeah. It's sort of having some, I can see it from the other side in the sense that even though there is that competition, I feel like personally in lockdown, I've also seen there has actually been a lot of support out there, especially like on Twitter and Instagram, going back to sort of strangers and also sort of people's close friends. So I have seen that support grow and like, people
Mm,
commenting and like people sharing work a bit more. Um, so yeah, I can kind of see it from both sides,
mm.
but I think the way forward is if just people kind of like keeps kind of sharing everyone's kind of
Yeah.
work.
That's what I'm saying. I feel it is you'll get people out there that will support, and as I said, you get people out there that won't. But again, I mean, Twitter, I've seen it on Twitter where Twitter has just been phenomenal. Like, the support on there, people just retweet, retweet,
Yeah.
retweet, and it's so much easier, retweet. And, that the amount of people that I have come across, because I've seen it on people's timeline and stuff. So it's just like, wow. Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's just about, but as I said, you just don't let it get to you. Just
Yeah,
as I said, move on.
kind of brush it off.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, in a minute, we're going to come on just to some like quick, fun, random fire round questions.
No worries.
To sort of end on before that, what would your kind of like piece of advice be to just like people starting out in the industry or who are kind of still finding their feet and don't know really what to do with themselves?
Don't give up, no matter what happens. I would just say that basically keep your head down, stay positive, and I know things are easier said than done, but you've got this. We're in a time where it's so hard, and there's so much going on, but you just got to know your worth. I tell everyone, like, know your worth. You're gonna have down days. You're human. I still have them. I have them every time. I might not show it. Social media life is not real. So when you think that this person's happy on Instagram or this person's got this, don't let that poison your mind. Focus on you. People only post what they want to post. You don't know what's happening in people's real lives. But my advice is don't give up. Like, whether you've had so many auditions and you've not got it, carry on. Do you know what I'm saying? Just go on to the next one, go on to the next one. And anyone that's new to the industry, it's going to be really tough on you because obviously, you started at the craziest time, and I've known a lot of people started at this time. But if your passion's in it and your heart's in it, then you won't give up. But there's always people like myself, like yourself, that's always here for advice. Speak out, just ask for advice. Just Google stuff. There's so many websites and stuff as well. But just don't give up. That's my advice. Don't ever give up.
Fantastic. Well, thank you for sharing that last piece. I think, especially with social media
Yeah.
and the world that we are in, when it's sort of kind of back to normal, but it's not. It's so easy to think,
Mm.
oh my god, like they're getting so many jobs, but then you don't realise the jobs that they might not be booking. So you're only
Yeah.
seeing like everything they're doing and not what they're doing. So
100%. 100%.
thank you for that insight.
No worries.
Okay, so I just got some like random questions.
Yeah.
First fire round question is if for 24 hours you could live a day in the life of anyone else, who would it be? Like anyone you know or celebrity or
Damn.
sorry, something.
That is a good question, but a hard question.
I don't even know what I would pick.
Um, wait, actually, can it be someone does it have to be that person has to be alive, obviously, innit?
No. Any. Oh yeah, they can be dead. It can be anyone.
Because I would say Tupac. I'm a massive Tupac fan, innit? Yeah. So I would say Tupac as well. See, I had two people, or is it just one?
You can have two.
Okay, I would say Tupac. That's my number one choice because obviously the guy was a legend. He's still a legend. He went through a lot back in his time. The guy was young. He passed away when he was 25. But
Yeah.
the fact that I just want to know what his everyday life was for him to become what he did, and he's still massive even in this
Yeah,
day. You know what
people
I'm saying?
still talk about it, like
Yeah, like his name will never fade away. so Tupac's one of them. The other one is The Rock. Massive fan from
Great
wrestling days.
choice.
Do you know what I'm saying? I watched him from WWE when WWE was WWF. But I just feel, obviously, I know he hasn't got an easy life. What I see on his gram, he's always working out. He's got a family. The guy's got a busy day. I just want to know. I would just like to live in his shoes for one day to see how mad his life would be. And I know a lot of people probably wouldn't ever want to stay in his shoes because he's probably like the busiest man in the world. But yeah, I think Tupac and The Rock.
Yeah, that's good choices.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, number 2, what would like your absolute dream job be, or like dream project?
Well, my dream job would be to basically have, to own my own company one day. I'm in the process of starting my own company soon, but I think to officially, like, how people have like Universal or there's Studio
Yeah.
Canal, there's Lionsgate. For me to have my own brand, my own company where I can get films made on the films, and you just because you own the label, it's like
Yeah,
just to have that buzz, because I've worked to work in the industry for so long, then to have your company out there worldwide, it'll be mad. So I think to have my own company out
that'll be sick.
there.
Manifest that it'll happen. Okay, if you could only eat one ice cream or like flavor of ice cream ever again, what would it be? I don't know if you even like ice cream, but
I love ice cream. The caramel Magnum,
oh, that's
because
interesting.
for people that know me, I love toffee and I love caramel. I've loved it since I was a kid, and that's my best flavor and everything. But I love Magnum as it is, but I think caramel Magnum can't beat it. I know it's got a lot of calories and sugar, but no,
I've
that's the
never
one.
tried. I've tried like the standard Magnum and not caramel. So
I think they only do it in certain places.
okay.
I think it was like limited. They still do it, but you'll find more of the other ones. But it's very hard to find it. But I'm telling you, where you need to try that.
I don't try. Okay, number 4. Sorry, I might put you on the spot. Do you
No,
have any
that's right.
like hidden talents, or maybe like talents that not a lot of people know about?
Yeah, I do actually. I can cook.
Okay.
Um, and that's surprising because I actually done more of it in lockdown. And obviously, a lot of people don't know. I mean, they're like, guys can't cook and they don't do it and stuff like that. But yeah, cooking and what's the other thing? DIY. I do a lot of DIY at home, which I learned from my dad from young age. I like to get my hands dirty. So when it's like painting or fixing stuff, yeah, DIY. And yeah, I'm a personal trainer as well, which a lot of people don't know. I mean, they see
Okay.
me
I
work out and stuff. Yeah, I'm a personal trainer now. So basically, I've been doing it for years and years. Obviously, I had to get training and stuff, but obviously, I'm a train. I always train and stuff. So yeah, but I don't really speak on it that much. But I'm gonna start now on my Instagram because a lot of people want a personal trainer coming. Summer's coming. So
yeah, I was gonna say got like a couple months to.
yeah. So yeah, those three, yeah.
Okay, that's cool. I guess people now know these things about you that they didn't know
Yeah, I
before.
know. I should shout about it more. I should actually do some
Yeah.
cooking. I should do some cooking videos.
Oh my god, you should cooking with Kaya.
That's a good one.
Feature on your
That's a
thing.
good one, cooking with kites. I like that. I might have to think of
You should do it.
that.
Cool. Okay, final one. If you could say just like one thing to your younger self now, what would that be?
To the younger me, yeah.
Mm,
Wow, that's a good one.
I'm sure there's so many things you want to say as well, but it's just like,
There is like, yeah, there'll be a lot. I'll give myself advice like, yeah, it's a hard one. It's a good question, but it's a hard one because it's
yeah,
like, well, it's I'm going back to myself when I was young, and I would just say to myself, do you know what I'll say? I'll be like, always stay humble, um, work hard, try not to let people get to you, because I used to I was hot headed. I was a hothead when I was younger. My temper used to go. I'm still a hothead now, but I know how to control it. If someone pisses me off,
Yeah.
whatever. But back then, I used to like be not aggressive as in like fight them, but I used to like lose my temper straight away. So I don't know. I just say to myself, to keep my head down and keep focused.
Keep focused.
Yeah,
That's cool. Thank you for sharing that with everyone.
no worries, no
Yeah,
worries.
it's been amazing speaking to you, like learning about where you, obviously being in the industry 12 years, sort of where you started, where
Yeah,
you are now, kind of where you want to go. And I think it will be really insightful for people still finding their feet in the industry, just to learn a bit more about the kind of misconceptions and what you've learnt yourself being on set. So I just want to say a massive thank you for
nah,
joining me with South Asian artists, in
no. It was
conversation with South Asian artists.
Thank you for having me on. It's been a pleasure talking to you as well. And as I said, it's just about raising awareness like we are now. So
Yeah,
anything like this, I love to come on and help out people as much as possible. But now, thank you for having me on. Obviously, well done to you as well for raising awareness, doing these things, out of your time as well. So as I said, be proud as well, man.
thank you, appreciate that. And for everyone watching, this will be out on Wednesday, the 24th of March. So keep an eye on my socials as well, because I will be announcing more guests to come. But yeah, hope you've enjoyed mine and Caius's chat, and I'll see you in the next chat.